What's up, everybody? Y'all come on in. What's up, El Cristo? What's up, New? What's up, Chris? What's up, Alexis? What's up, Arlen? What's up, Crystal? What's up, Pebbles? Y'all come on in. Y'all come on in. Y'all come on in. What's up, GG? Hey, bro, you just be glowing. Thank you, thank you. All right, we'll give him another minute, y'all, and we'll get started. I'm gonna get it in. All right. How about we begin? Now, recently, I watched two movies called Dark City and Ink. And they actually two sides of the same coins, actually. But Dark City focuses on more on what's going on in our physical reality. Ink focuses more on what's going on through the astral planes. So we're gonna start with Dark City first, since this is our reality first. So let's check this out. Let's check this out. What is the Dark City? The Dark City is a science fantasy rendition of this third-dimensional Matrix Earth. See what I'm saying? So it was this realm. Actually, they made it look like it was a space station, and it's like a honeycomb space station. It just went, and then the city was on top, and then they had the underground, and they had levels. It pretty much was based off, planes. You see what I'm saying? You had different planes. That's basically how they portrayed this third dimensional city. You see what I'm saying? So now, there was another group of beings in this city called the Strangers. Now, who are the Strangers? They are parasites, archons / walk-ins who inhabit dead human bodies, clones / cyborgs / robots. They are also hive-minded, like parasites and insects. So definitely these beings, they would do many different things in this show. That's going to blow your minds. I talk about it, and you can watch this movie on Amazon if you want to. What's up, Dolph? You can watch this movie online if you want to. Amazon Prime is where I found them, so you may be able to find them. I know Ink is free on Amazon Prime, but you have to pay for Dark City. You can rent it for like $4 if you choose, but yeah, you have to pay for it. Anyway, so yeah, these strangers lived underground, so they were inner Earth beings. You see what I'm saying? And they were manipulating the affairs of what was going on the surface. See what I'm saying? So they were participating in what you call the experiment. The experiment was to see they was after the secrets of the human soul. You see what I'm saying? What is this? There's always this story of these beings trying to get their hands on the soul and their divinity, because without it, they don't have no connection to the source, and they just so that makes them vampires, parasites. You see what I'm saying? So all they're gonna do is leech off of you. What's up, Tiffany? All they're gonna do is leech off you because they don't have no soul. You see what I'm saying? So now they don't have that connection. Now, what was the machine they were using to put everybody to sleep and wake everybody up? And the answer is it was Cyber Chronos, which is artificial time. Interestingly enough, let me talk about that. These beings had the ability to do what you like to call tuning. And what is tuning? I'm going to tell y'all what tuning is. Tuning is the name given to the strangers' archon psychokinetic powers, which gives them the ability to control reality itself at will. You see what I'm saying? At will. So now, they was able to manipulate the world above them by every 12 hours by shifting the realm, and they would even go so far as to steal the memories of other people and swap them out to other people. Now, swap them out. They would steal the memories of other people, absorb their intelligence through a syringe, and then they would swap it with other people in the fucking Dark City, right? And give them their memories. You see what I'm saying? So they had false memories, right? So because why would they do this? It was an experiment to see what would happen, and of course, you control the perception of a being, then naturally you control the reality. See what I'm saying? So when they absorbed the memories of other people, their reality shifted naturally due to them having these intense, powerful memories of them doing this and that. So literally, the reality would shift according to the types of memories. Like, say for example, it was a man and a woman, and they was poor, but when they inserted these syringes into their third eye, they would always insert them up in this area here, their third eye. When they inserted them in there, and gave them the information of those memories, their reality would upgrade from like a poor setting to a rich environment. And it was like, damn. So these beings, these strangers, who if y'all never seen them before, they look like this. Let me see here. It look like this. If you've never seen them before, that's what they look like. And here go another picture as a hive mind. They literally just walked around in dead human bodies, and they was a dying species. Cause the Archons is a dying species. Cause and here go an image with the clock, Cyber Chronos. You see what I'm saying? And y'all know Chronos is the Greek titan of time. So they created an artificial. So what does that represent? They produced artificial time. There was no daytime in this city. Every 12 hours, they put everybody else to sleep, and then they would do it all over again. You see what I'm saying? They would do it all over again. They would tune the reality and swap memories every 12 hours. So people, and it was fucked up too. The guy by the name, the main character in the movie called John Murdoch, he would always, or John Marduk. See what I'm saying? John Marduk. He would always, it was one dude, when he first met him, he was a hotel clerk. When he seen him again, he was a newspaper clerk. So he asked though, but he said, how long have you been a newspaper dealer? And he said, for over 25 years. And he was like, oh shit. They like literally swapping niggas' memories. And they will literally put you to sleep. That's why the human body has to sleep. And that's why when you wake up, you don't remember nothing. You see what I'm saying? You don't remember nothing. For real. They telling you what it is. And this goes along with the coronavirus, right? They woke you up with the coronavirus by putting a stop to the system and shutting it down, right? Then, after they shut it down, they did that mass ritual with George Floyd on Memorial Day, and then they put you back to sleep. See, so they put you right back into the system. See what I'm saying? That's how they got you back in here, by doing that mass ritual. And they regenerated the system with your rage, with your emotions. You see what I'm saying? With your feelings. That's how they recharge the system again. So you got this. What you got going on here with these beings? This what you got going on. They literally putting people to sleep and waking them back up. And literally the whole city would stop and they would just fall asleep right there on the spot. And they would wake up and won't remember shit. And they have whole new memories. They didn't do this for everybody. They'll do a few humans at a time. You see what I'm saying? They'll do a few humans at a time. It was just one big ass experiment. And so they had this doctor by the name of Dr. Schrober. And Dr. Schrober pretty much was the enlightened one in the group, cause he was a scientist, but they forced him to take a syringe and forget everything else he knew. Right, so he was working for him, and he was creating all these scenarios and formulas for this particular being, these particular beings, right? These archons, also known as the strangers. So this what you got going on here. So, you know, with this artificial time that they created, which is what y'all in, artificial time with Cyber Chronos. Peep this. In our reality, we know it as the media propaganda machine, or mainstream media, which alters perceptions and memories by feeding us a narrative, which is called mythoposis. You see what I'm saying? And through mythoposis, if you control the perceptions, you control the reality. You see what I'm saying? You feed people a story, and get their emotions involved in their story, then you can lead them along your narrative until that narrative run out, and then you got to create more chaos, because if you want change, you got to create chaos. You create more chaos to hide that story and jump timelines onto another storyline. That's all they've been doing. I mean, for now, the mainstream media is for the masses. QAnon is the media propaganda machine for those who are woke. They literally feed us the same story with slight variations in the story that they are telling us. Then sometimes they get it out. Sometimes they get it out, and sometimes sometimes they act it out. My bad. And sometimes they don't, which plays on the human's idea of the human capacity to make mistakes. While other times we hit the nail on the head. You see what I'm saying? And murder that shit, and we snap. See what I'm saying? That's mythoposis. So they know that humans are prone to mistakes. So every so often they'll miss the mark with a few events, making you think that the mission failed, and that plays on your capacity to make mistakes, right? As humans, being flawed beings. So you don't even think about it. He just made a mistake. We'll get him again next time, right? But other times other times the missions be such a complete success. You be like, see what we told you, they was gonna get them. You see what I'm saying? They finally got these motherfuckers. That's what's going on with the QAnon energy. So that's what you got going on. So that's what they doing. A friend of mine sent me some messages about what they was doing, and I've read so many of their messages, it sounds the same. But the story is the same. They're just altering the details. You see, and the devil's in the details, as they say. They're just altering the details and updating the details for current events. Or in other words, they're tuning the reality like the strangers did in Dark City, right? So this what you got going on here. This what you got going on. So now, let us explain who these strangers are. Then we're gonna continue on here. Let us explain who these beings are here. Let's see. Professor Schrober dropped signs on them.
Strangers.
Alright, here we go. Check out what he has to say.
First there was darkness. Then came the strangers. They abducted us and brought us here. This city, everyone in it, it's their experiment. They mix and match our memories as they see fit, trying to define what makes us unique. One day, a man might be an inspector. The next, someone entirely different. When they want to study a murderer, for instance, they simply imprint one of their citizens with a new personality. Arrange a family for him, friends, an entire history, even a lost thought. Then they observe the results. Will a man, given the history of a killer, continue in that vein? Or are we, in fact, more than the mere sum of our memories? This business of you being a killer was an unhappy coincidence. You have had dozens of lives before now. You just happened to wake up while I was imprinting you with this one. Why are they doing all this? It is our capacity for individuality, our souls, that makes us different from them. They think they can find the human soul if they understand how our memories work. All they have are collective memories. They share one group mind. They're dying, you see. Their entire race is on the brink of extinction. They think we can save them. Why do I fit in? You're different, John. You resisted my attempt to imprint you. Somehow, you have developed their ability to tune. That is how they change things. That is how they built this city. They have machines buried deep beneath the surface that allow them to focus their telepathic energies. They control everything here, even the sun. That's why it's always dark. They can't stand the light. So why do they need you? When they first brought us here, they extracted what was in us, so they can store the information, remix it like so much paint, and give us back new memories of their choosing. But they still needed an artist to help What about this? This was blank when I found it. You still don't understand, John. You were never a boy. Not in this place. Your entire history is an illusion, a fabrication, as it is with all of us. You made those drawings happen with your gift. You say they brought us here. From where? Sorry. I don't remember. None of us remember that. But we once were. What we might have been. Somewhere else.
So there you go. They just basically told you what this reality or dimension is. He said in the beginning there was darkness, which we talking about the pleroma, the primordial realm of fullness. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? That primordial realm of all the original realm in creation that was first produced, right? Now, this is where it get good. He said, then came the strangers. Who's the strangers? The strangers is Yaldabaoth and his archons, his world rulers, his spiritual jailers, his celestial vampires. And he said, they kidnapped us and brought us to this realm, this dark city. Well, he's talking about the Garden of Eden story. The Garden of Eden originally happened on the astral plane where the archons created this physical body. See what I'm saying? But in order to fuck the archons over, Sophia implanted, allow our souls to incarnate into these physical bodies. You see what I'm saying? When Sophia allowed our souls to incarnate into this physical body, she gave that command for us. And through this process, we will one day go through this alchemical process. We will one day go on to usurp and overcome these archons, right? So in the Garden of Eden story, when Adam and Eve ate from the tree of knowledge, and they third eyes are awoken and they can see the archons of who they were, the archons banished them from the astral plane into third dimensional earth, which is Tartarus. See what I'm saying? An energetic magical prison, or Azkaban, as y'all know it in pop culture. You see what I'm saying? The Azkaban prison in Harry Potter, right? So from that point on, we became the experiment. They would see what we were. First of all, the ancient world they allowed to happen because they wanted to see what we were capable of with our souls. But ever so often, they would come in and they would sabotage different beings who were power hungry at that time, and they would begin to shut down the ancient societies. They would even breed other beings through sex and everything across the cosmos, and they will have them infiltrate our world. So y'all know them as the Berber Moors and various other groups who will come in, and they will go on, and their sole task was to sabotage all ancient worlds, all ancient societies, and destroy them, so that they can usurp this world, our world completely, conquer our world completely. See what I'm saying? So this is what you got going on here. This is what you got going on with these strangers, these archons. See what I'm saying? Now, they had a globular machine, which represented the artificial world soul that they created. You know, the ghost in the machine is Cyber Yaldabaoth. So it's the Cyber Demiurge, which is the corrupt AI, artificial intelligence Demiurge, which is operating throughout technologies as the binary code 01110. See what I'm saying? The binary code or the binary frequency 01110, right? So this is what you got going on with these particular beings. This is how they operate. This is how they get the fuck down. They prey on your energies, feed off your energies, feed off your soul but they got to put you to sleep though. But every so often, throughout the timeline, there are certain periods where they have to let you wake up. So they had to go along with the universal events that's going on in this cosmos, and they had to let you wake up. Because the stars, as they tell you in the Necronomicon, doesn't harm you as much, so they don't have as much control over you. So they let you wake up. And so you get such events as the Civil War for the freedom of the slaves. You get such events as the revolution in the 1960s. The Harlem Renaissance. You see what I'm saying? You get such events like that. When the stars are weaker, or those frequencies, those arcanic frequencies are weaker during those time periods, and when those periods temporarily pass, then they come after you again because they know the frequencies are hurting you again, and that's why the Black Panther Party lost the war. That's why after the Civil War, the fucking slaves called hell. You see what I'm saying? They call hell. You know, so it's always these periods of ebb and flow, waxing and waning, just like the cycles of the moon. Certain periods harm us worse, or these frequencies, you know, these arcanic frequencies hurt us more, and there's other periods where those arcanic frequencies hurt us less, and we was able to rise up and rebel against them. Well, this is the last go around for that, because it's the end of the Piscean age. That happened all throughout the Piscean age, right? So it's the last go around for that, right? Because we're going into the Aquarian age. So the stars are not just shifting, they are being overhauled completely because it's the changing of the age. And so now they are really scared because they trying to get in where they fit in. But as they're starting to see, we're starting to ascend. It's not just a star shifting. We are literally starting to ascend to higher realms. See what I'm saying? Higher dimensional frequencies. And a lot of people ask me, Marvin, why if we advance to such high dimensional frequencies, why Earth still look the same? I said we advance to high dimensional frequencies. We are not we are matching the frequencies of those planes. But the shift hasn't completely happened yet. You see what I'm saying? We're just matching the frequencies of those planes, and the more we match those frequencies, the more you awaken and the more your abilities come online. You see what I'm saying? So right now, where we at? The 6 dimensional frequencies. We're kicking out 6 dimensional frequencies. So we're heading up through the 13th dimensional vortex. You see what I'm saying? So by the time we fully shift, there's gonna come a time that we gonna be so high that we can't help but shift completely onto at least one of these dimensional planes. So it may not even be the 5th dimension. It weighs out according to where we are frequency wise. So if we on the 9th dimension, then we can end up on the 6th dimension by default. See what I'm saying? If we on the 12th dimension, then we may end up on the 7th or 8th dimension, just balancing it out as far as the full complete shift of everybody on this plane. You see what I'm saying? This is what you got going on here. So this is what you got going on. So now, with these beings, this is what they're doing on this realm. They are using their cyber technologies and their artificial creations to keep you asleep, to keep you suppressed, to keep you oppressed, and they gotta make sure you forget. Remember, the name of the game is let them forget. Do not let them remember. See, spirituality and soulity is cycles of continuous awakening, which just means cycles of continuous remembrance. You see what I'm saying? Remembrance. That's all it means, right? That's all spirituality really is. You remembering who the fuck you are. So many people are remembering who they are right now to these beings have lost complete control of the planet. But people haven't realized that they've lost complete control of the planet. So what are they doing? Before people fully wake up and realize they're killing the system slowly and getting the fuck off this planet. You see what I'm saying? Through stargates and star portals. So this is what you got going on here. So you had the starseed John Murdoch. He awakens to his abilities after one of the tuning experiments goes wrong. He then spends the movie trying to find himself. But it was not until he fully understood who he was through the teachings of Dr. Schrober that he Kundalini awakened and fought the strangers, archons, and defeated them. So, yeah, this is what you got going on here. And Pete Gang, the more he woke up, the more the Matrix reality began to glitch. There's another reason why they hate your awakening. The more you wake up, the more the reality glitches around them. Because of John Murdoch's awakening, usually, this is Pete Gang here. his awakening, it was a series of events where they weren't completing their experiments because of his awakening. He would be interrupting the process of their experiments, which this whole fucking matrix right now is one big experiment. The experience and the experiment are one and the same. They're the same goddamn word. It just said differently. So throughout this planetary experiment, John Murdoch would actually start disrupting their experiments, and because he started disrupting their shit, that's when they had to act. They had to take him out. They would attempt to take him out. Now they do any starseed, right? So what happens next? What happens next is they come after this man, trying to take him down, and Dr. Strobel, who represented his higher self at this point, his spiritual guide, his soul guide, would inject him with a particular product, a syringe, but in that particular syringe was memories where Dr. Strobel taught him about these strangers and how to defeat them, and he would go on to defeat them. You see what I'm saying? So this is a great movie. You gotta check this out. Y'all wanna know how they keep us trapped in this false matrix? They tell you about it. They tell you everything you need to know. You see what I'm saying? They tell you what these beings are: parasites, clones, cyborgs, robots, archons, which are celestial vampires, insects, hive-minded. You see what I'm saying? They tell you how they manipulate you through they manipulate you through artificial time or cyber chronos. You know, so you know that's and it happens every 12 hours. That's why your body get tired. They have to put their body to sleep. Your body have to rest after about 10 or 12 hours of operating, if you ever notice. So your body has to sleep at some point. And while you sleep, if you ever notice, you wake up, your mind be completely blank. It's because it's been reset. Just like the people in the story in Dark City, when they woke up, their minds were completely reset. This is what you got going on here. This is what you got going on here with this particular storyline. They telling you who it is, what they doing, how they doing it. So, you know, in our world, it's mainstream media for the masses, and it's QAnon for the woke. You see what I'm saying? Just doing the same shit on different levels. So, you know, their ability was known as tuning, where they can use their psychokinetic powers or telekinetic abilities to alter reality itself with their wills. See what I'm saying? They was trying to figure out how the fuck John Murdoch. It takes several lifetimes for y'all to access our abilities, for y'all to learn how to tune. How the fuck he did it? He did it because he was a starseed. He had them star codes in him. So they did it enough to a point where he fully awakened. He finally awakened to what the fuck the bullshit. His soul had enough. You see what I'm saying? Of their experiments or their experience, and it awoke him. And no amount of fucking memory augmentation could stop that awakening. So yeah, this is what you got going on here. This is what you got going on. That's how he would go on to defeat them. He would go on to defeat them. So it's a great movie. Check it out. It'll blow your mind, because that's exactly what they doing. And they're manipulating your technologies with cyber Yaldabaoth, or the AI demiurge, corrupt AI demiurge. And he used the code or frequency, binary code / frequency 01110. Just to recap. Hurry up. So yeah, and they have a global machine which represents the artificial world soul that they created. They even manipulate time with artificial weather modifications, right? So they have a replica of the soul machine, which allows them to manipulate. They have a machine that which they call the AI computer, or the beast, which is 666 is a computer that they have, and this computer actually, through binary processes, produces realities, produces the best outcomes and realities and stories and narratives for these beings, and then they go and program the society with these are the best mythoposis storyline. You see what I'm saying? So this you got going on here. So they have so that global machine that they talking about is actually a real machine. IBM created it sometime back in the 80s, 70s or 80s, and it literally kicks out different storylines that will work out in their favor if they carry them out. And so they learn to use these storylines to keep us asleep, wake us up, keep us asleep, wake us up, do this, do that, feed us stories, do many things else. And they, of course, finally they had to start manipulating the weather completely, which through the heart machine. Or maybe they've been doing it all the time, we just waking up to the fact that they've been doing it. See what I'm saying? Because we don't really know truly how advanced they've been the whole time. We gonna say they've been advanced the whole fucking time. Let's give them their props here. We gonna say they've been advanced the whole damn time. They just destroyed so many societies at one time that the world looked so-called primitive. You see what I'm saying? Because they destroyed so many enlightened beings at once, so it created a wound in the force and set us back to a world that looks like goddamn a world where we was riding horses. We went from flying in cars and shit to riding horses. Think about that. Think about the fucking regression there. We went from fucking riding in space cars and starships and riding in macabres to fucking riding horses, y'all. So that lets you know the level of fuckery they've committed. You see what I'm saying? Mental, spiritual, and physical fuckery that they committed. They stole all our technologies, reverse engineered them, and began to use them against us. Also, they stole all our magical sciences or occult sciences, reverse engineered them, and used them against us. And that's what's been going on. That's what they're showing you in Lovecraft Country. We'll cover that once they finish up the seasons or whatever in full detail. Now, let's get to the movie Ink. That's next. That's next on the list. Now, what is Ink? Ink is a movie about the soul, the subconscious, and about free will. The movie starts off with a guy named John. Peep game. Who is John? John in Gnostic Teachers represents the head of the Baphomet, by the way. If y'all want to know what his name John, why his name John keep popping up in all these goddamn movies, John is actually the Baphomet. You see what I'm saying? The head of the Baphomet in Gnostic and Knight Templar teachings. So John, the movie starts off with a guy named John who is a successful businessman. He has a daughter named Emma. They live happily as a family until his wife died in a car crash. These beings caused that car crash. I'll get to that in a second. And he was overcome with grief. Everything in his life began to unravel as he turns to drugs and alcohol to numb the pain. Emma is then given to her grandparents by the court. What makes the movie special, it clearly makes a distinction between the starseeds, who are known as the storytellers in the movies, and the archons, who are known as the incubi. You see what I'm saying? One group travels through the astral planes to feed you positive dreams, hopes, and realities, which is the storytellers, where the other feeds you nightmares, depression, and tyrannical realities, which is what the incubi do, while everyone is asleep at night. The story kicks off with a being by the name of Ink, who has portal into the astral plane. He seeks to become an incubus to numb the pain of his soul. As payment for the process, he has to sacrifice his daughter, who he has forgotten due to him committing suicide, as John. The astral plane takes place in the future by a year. So the astral plane is a futuristic realm that's a year ahead of us. So he has 1 year to get it right. The master storyteller Leave acts as Ink's consciousness, trying to get him to remember who he is. It wasn't until they reached the incubi main facility that he realizes who he is and begins to fight them. Meanwhile, John goes to see his sick daughter finally. The storyteller wins out over the incubi. And then you had the guy by the name of Jacob, who had the ability to hear the music of the universe, and he knew how to manipulate the universal song as well. So what am I talking about here? At the beginning of the movie, the guy John loses his wife, and so he goes to this Great Depression or whatever. These beings, the storytellers who are tasked with going to these different people and feeding them these beautiful stories, you know, of hopes, dreams, family, and high dimensional frequencies, high vibrational frequencies, versus these incubi who come in and they feed you nightmares, which are tyrannical realities, depression, depressive experiences, hopelessness, you know, fearful events, so on and so forth, right? That's what they feed you. So that's what the incubi feeds you, right? So what do these storytellers and incubi look like? Let me show you real quick before we move on. Here, let's see. We'll go to storytellers first. The storytellers look like this. That's what the storytellers look like. There they go again. And that's Jacob, by the way. The guy with the patch on his eye. This is what the incubi look like. They look like this. There you go. And notice they have a screen on their face. Represent what's up with this grayed out screen. What's up with this grayed out screen? They wore this screen on their face. You see what I'm saying? And the screen represented their loss of connection. They're blocked from being connected to the source because it was on their head. You see what I'm saying? Oh damn, it went off. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Yeah, here we go. Damn, there go again. So they had these screens on their face, which means they was blocked from the true connection to the source. You see what I'm saying? They was mentally and spiritually and soulfully blocked, and they didn't have souls anyway, because they was numb. They was narcissistic. They chose narcissism over empathy, as y'all would say. So this is what you got going on here. So these two beings are in a cosmic war, infinity war with each other for the souls of mankind down here in the third dimension. You got those who's trying to heal and regenerate mankind, and then you got those who's trying to destroy and degenerate mankind. You see what I'm saying? Those who's trying to free us and liberate us, and those who's trying to oppress us and lock us down. You see what I'm saying? Oppress us and ruin us, right? So this story revolves around the little girl Emma. And now Emma is John's daughter. Now she gets sick because in the future astral plane, the incubi came in and stole her soul. So now the ink came in and stole the soul of his daughter. See what I'm saying? He fought them for the soul of his daughter. And so his task was to bring her back so they could sacrifice his daughter. Now, interestingly enough, in the movie, he goes on this journey of the anti-hero. Remember I told y'all about that journey of the anti-hero. And the journey of the anti-hero, he went through all these fucking distorted and broken beings all throughout the astral plane who were known as drifters. You know, he was brought this, he had to, cause he in order to open up portals, he would beat on a drum. Of course, the drum represents rhythms, frequencies, and vibrations. That's what the drum does. It's music, right? So he would tap on the drum to activate the musical vibration that will open up their portal, right? So his drum got damaged due to his immortal combat with Leave, right? So he had to go seek out codes or whatever to get what he need, so he could go and take these beings to her. But he's forgotten who his daughter was. You see what I'm saying? Due to his suicide. So in his depression, he forgot. Meanwhile, John, who is a year behind him on Earth, is dealing with his bullshit. You see what I'm saying? He dealing with his bullshit. He going through hell or whatever, and these motherfuckers is whispering into his subconscious, screaming into his subconscious that to be like, fuck the world, fuck these niggas. You see what I'm saying? Making him more narcissistic, making him more hateful towards these people. You see what I'm saying? You know, they feeding him. You know, you know. So this is what you got going on here. So Ink, who is him in a year in the future on the astral plane after he's committed suicide, is going to all these different places, meeting all these different people, and the whole journey of the anti-hero is to show how his soul is asleep. They was fragments of his soul. He never realized that they was fragments of his soul, and all along was fucked up. He had to deal with greed, then he had to deal with vanity. And then there was another being he had to deal with. I can't think of them off the top of my head. But I know it was like 3 drifters he had to go see. And each one of them represented an aspect of his soul. See what I'm saying? So once he got all the codes he needed, or the new musical vibrations he needed to open the portal, he would go and open up this portal and take them to the Archon's facilities. Believe it or not, the Archon's facility was actually in his heart chakra. Oh, that shit get deep, y'all. Cause the room was literally green, but it was dark green. It wasn't light green. It was dark green, so it represented the dark side of the heart. You see what I'm saying? It represented the dark side of the heart. So all the archons begin to feel the room or feel his heart chakra. Those arcanic frequencies begin to feel it, which was distorting his empathy, right? So Leave finally got to him after one of the fucking archons stabbed her, or Incubus stabbed her, right? So she was like, I've been trying to tell you this whole time that, nigga, this your daughter. Nigga, wake up. And he finally woke up and realized. And in one of the most beautiful scenes I've seen in cinematic history, he fucked them archons up in his heart chakra. He whooped the shit out of them archons. Y'all like, get him, Ink. Get him. Get them. Fuck these niggas up. Fuck these niggas up. And he killed every last one of them bitches. Even the fucking archon, the archonic leader, or the high archon, or the prime archon that was governing his heart at this time. They was overseeing the destruction of his heart chakra. See what I'm saying? The numbing of his heart chakra. All it took was to sacrifice his own the soul of his daughter. They put her in a bathtub. They always putting people in the bathtub. Peep Gang, Tupac was in a bathtub. Goddamn, Janelle Monáe they put in the bathtub. They put Eminem in the bathtub. All of them had to do songs when they was in the bathtub. And even in Constantine, they put Old Girl in the bathtub. And it's because they know that water, they think water gives them psychic power, because water is the universal conduit between this realm and the next, because it's fluid. You see what I'm saying? So it flows from this realm to the next and back again. That's what water represents. That's why water represents intuition, receptiveness, and spirituality. You see what I'm saying? And emotional sensitivity. That's why it represents it. So Ink had to whoop all these niggas' asses. You see what I'm saying? He beat the shit out of every last motherfucker in that motherfucker. And because he whooped everybody in his heart chakra, he killed every archon in his heart chakra, it reverberated back into the physical plane where it reverberated back in the physical plane where he had a car wreck due to the angels or the storytellers or the starseeds trying to wake him up. And Jacob, actually, which is a representation of his chakra system, actually set in motion events to where he would have a car wreck, and that put him in the hospital, same hospital with his daughter, and I think he was from that point on, he would go see his daughter. He would start to remember who his daughter was. When he started to remember who his daughter was, then that altered his timeline. He didn't commit suicide. He made up with his daughter, and from that point on, he would love and enjoy. So if y'all want to know why y'all always astral traveling, y'all are astral traveling into the future to deal with bullshit on the astral plane, so it can reverberate back to the physical plane and alter your reality for a positive outcome. In this case, ascension. You see what I'm saying? In this case, ascension. That's what the positive outcome you're looking for. That's why you're fighting so hard in the astral plane. You're fighting for your own ascension, your own soul ascension in the astral planes. You see what I'm saying? And this movie portrays this beautifully. How he had to fight in the astral plane a year ahead of time to defeat these motherfuckers, so he could save his soul. And before he could save his soul, he had to do what? He had to purify his heart. He'll regenerate his empathy. Because what? It's the heart soul. The heart is the gateway to the soul, like they showed you in Avatar. So this what you got going on here. Here go a few videos to show y'all what I'm talking about. Let's see here. I'm gonna let y'all listen to Something's Gotta Stop the Flow. This is when he tuned into the rhythm of the universe to stop the flow of the timeline that he was on.
What exactly are you doing?
I need links.
Links.
A chain needs links.
Chain. Chain reaction.
You've got it! Tell her what she's won, Bob!
You know what? I don't get this. I don't get you. I don't get this mission. What are we even doing here? We're wasting our time. A child is going to die. You're burning our time.
Death is the least of her troubles.
That's right. You know what? You're right. So let's help her.
You know, the downward spiral is essentially a chain reaction.
And nothing that comes out of your mouth makes any sense.
They're all reactions! One thing begets the next. A man has a weakness. He's flawed. That flaw leads him to guilt. The guilt leads him to shame. The shame he compensates with pride, vanity. And when pride fails, despair takes over and they all lead to his destruction. Will become his fate. Something's gotta stop the flow.
He's on his way.
Someone's gotta stop the flow.
Sweating for help. You don't have much time.
Take a duck. Let's make a run.
So as you can see, sometimes you had them car wrecks because your ancestors and your soul guys trying to get your attention because you too far off your path. So you have car wrecks and you get these random ass diseases and all this other crazy shit because you off your path. You see what I'm saying? You fucking up for the most part. And so they cause you to have this to sit your ass down so you can reflect on your mistakes, reflect on what the fuck you was doing wrong. And so once you so you have these realizations while you down and out. And when you get back up, now you know what you need to do to succeed. So now you stable again, you centered again, so you go back out there into the world and do what needs to be done. So sometimes that's what they do for you. Now I'm gonna show y'all a little bit of this fight scene here. And I don't want to show y'all too much of it because you know it's kind of like the ending fight scene. But I want to just show y'all how these motherfuckers be battling on the astral planes for your soul. See what I'm saying? The Arcanic forces versus the soul forces. Check this out. The Star Force.
I'll stay with him. Buy me as much time as you can. It's not gonna be much.
2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Hey, excuse me. If I want to find a patient. Little girl.
Little girl, all children are in pediatrics, which is one floor up and to the left. Okay.
So there you go. Like I said, sometimes they call that car wreck so you can get your shit together, so you can slow down. Cause America keep you moving so fast, you forget what's important. You see what I'm saying? Got you running to and fro. You never slow down to see what's going on. Sometimes, now you see how hard your ancestors fight for you. Your soul guides and spirit guides, soul guardians and spirit guardians fight for you. You see what I'm saying? To keep you on the right path. They even go so far as to alter your timeline. You see what I'm saying? To alter your timeline. You know, shit. So this what you got going on here. This happens a lot on multiple occasions if you're not doing the fuck, if you fall too far off your path because you're not doing the fuck you're supposed to be doing. They're even depend, and sometimes it don't even have nothing to do with you. It's your daughter or your son who may be the chosen ones, and you may be fucking up by them, and so you'll have a freak accident to slow you down so that you can remember what's important, which is your daughter and your son, or your little sister, or your little brother, or your nephews and nieces and stuff like that, or go spend some time with your family, or start working on your spirituality and soulity. You see what I'm saying? This is why these events happen in your life. It's to alter your timeline, because the timeline you're on is what the East Indians is called the path of Ashura, or the path of destruction. You're on a path of self-destruction right now. So they do these events like cause a car wreck to put you back on the right timeline. And if you listen to those events and get your shit together and you get back on the timeline, it usually puts you back on the path to self-ascension. You see what I'm saying? The path of awakening, the path of serenity and resurrection. You see what I'm saying? That's what you call the path of resurrection and regeneration. See what I'm saying? The resurrection of the dead is a path. You know, it's not just an event, it's a pathway that you have to walk until you gain enough life experience to where your soul enters this state of awakening, begin to enter this remembrance of itself, and it alarms your spirit, mind, and body to it, and then you begin this journey of the hero. You see what I'm saying? So that's what you got going on with this movie Ink. So they fought like hell so he can get to that room. It's just to touch the daughter's hand and remember what he lost. You see what I'm saying? And that also this timeline. And that saved his daughter, who was actually the chosen one, the chosen starseed for the family. See what I'm saying? And she would grow up and probably do amazing things. All because though your ancestors / soul guides and spirit guides worked their ass off to make sure you did what you were supposed to do. And you did right by them, so that they can go and do what they need to do in this world. You see what I'm saying? And to heal and resurrect and transmute the planet, you know, do they part later on down the timeline. So they will go on to help other people, heal other people, and participate in the Great Awakening, and so that they can help regenerate, recharge, and reset the planet anew, so that we could bring new and complete holistic souls, Jedis and sorcerers and scions down here to start this new great era or new golden age that we got going on. So there you go, y'all. There you go. There y'all go. So there it is. Dark City and Ink Decoded. Y'all go check them out. I know Ink is free on Amazon Prime. Now Dark City you gotta pay like $3 for. Still, it's worth it, but you know, I leave it up to you on how you watch movies. You see what I'm saying? What you gonna need to do to watch. You know, you got also pirate sites and stuff like that as well. So yeah, there y'all go. With that being said, I gotta get up out of here. I would love to take questions, but I got to go today. So I'm Marvin Jones. Y'all put the word out. Share this with your friends. Let them know what it is. And I'm out. Peace.